Balcony FMV for novelty. I wonder if the frame rate gets worse on this camera when my cell phone has low battery. I mean, I'm in a lower light condition, so that might explain why the frame rate seems worse, or at least seemed worse in the preview. It seems like it might have gotten better now that I've actually started recording. I wonder if it does a lower frame rate in the preview to save battery when it's at low battery. The Droid DNA, which this is that I'm recording on, makes a cool musical pattern when you lower the ringtone volume. It's not a thing that should be there because mostly I don't want... It's cool that you're able to judge how loud a particular setting on the slider is by hearing the sample, but 100% of the time, the thing that I'm doing is moving the ringtone volume from all the way up to silent, or from silent to all the way up. And when you're making it louder, that's obviously not a problem, because you're not in a situation where you don't need to disturb anybody. But when you're trying to put it on silent, you just want it to go all the way to silent, which you can hold it down and get it to the bottom of the gauge, but that's not quite good enough, because the bottom of the gauge on this phone is vibrate, which is to say vibrate is under silent. You can tick the volume down to its lowest setting, and then down one more is silent, and then down from silent is vibrate, which is just stupid. Like, how is it not completely obvious that one tick down from the lowest volume setting should be just vibrate, and one tick down from vibrate is silent, such that holding the down key constantly will result in silent mode? This seems apparent to me. I mean, I guess if you think that silent mode should be the default mode, or silent mode is what you use all the time and you very rarely put it on, or if you think vibrate mode is the default and vibrate mode is what you use all the time and you very rarely put it on silent, you could argue that if it's accidentally disturbed in a pocket and just a Brownian motion holds down the volume down key, that will put it on vibrate mode, which will potentially still allow you to notice incoming messages, and you're less likely to miss a thing due to random pocket jumblings. But at least make it a setting, or at least unlock the bootloader so that I can install some decent firmware on here and not this sense bullshit. But I thought there was a exploit for this bootloader when I bought this phone, but then it turned out there was not a exploit for this bootloader when I bought this phone. Much to my chagrin. At some point there will be another one. Time marches onward. It is a convenient pattern that I turn my air conditioning all the way to like 95 degrees because I just have a little bar thermostat that you set to the temperature you want, and I just take it all the way to the right when I'm leaving the house in the morning because I don't want the air conditioner to run unnecessarily. And in Cincinnati, it doesn't get very hot indoors, especially in an apartment complex where the adjacent units are probably being cooled, even without any air conditioning running all day. And so I'll get home and it'll be like 76 inside, and I'll be like, I don't even feel a need to turn the air conditioning on immediately. I'll just hang around without the air conditioning being on until the point where it's time for me to go to sleep, at which point I will think, oh my god, it is way too hot in here to sleep. And then I will immediately think, associated with that, I haven't recorded an FMV yet today. And then I'll think, well, this is perfect, because if I turn the air conditioning on now, it'll take like 10-15 minutes to actually cool to the temperature where I can sleep easily. So it's like, I have a built-in reminder for doing FMVs. GitHub is an amazing platform for writing novels. I realized how much I wanted GitHub as a platform for writing novels until I realized that it was available. The web interface is not perfect, but it's good enough. Like, you shouldn't have a lot of work in a buffer in the web interface at a time. So yeah, it's like kind of lossy. The real place where the web interface seems dangerous to me is if you submit and you don't have a network connection, and so your submission doesn't go through, but your buffer is lost. That could be nasty. Even then, on modern browsers, you should just be able to alt-left arrow and not lose anything.